That took a second. We are live.
We are live.
Hello. Oh, Jake just joined. For those that don't know, Jake is the new shop apprentice at Bad Fellow Tattoo.
Oh,
Yes. He just watched it with me. The new Moon Knight.
dude, I can't wait. Can't wait.
Yep. Cleaning my glasses.
Let me move back a little bit. There we go.
We have 5 viewers online. I don't know why I did that weird accent right now, but yeah.
I'm liking the stash.
Yes. One second. Whoop-dee. I just started growing it this week, where I was like, it'd be cool if you had a crazy handlebar mustache and some nice chops. I'm like, oh yeah, I miss the chops. Just started growing on again. It's been like 4 days.
Looking good after 4 days.
Yeah, 4 or 5 days for the chops, and then the mustache is like 4 or 5 days as well.
Nice.
Yeah, facial hair grows pretty fast on my end. So I think we got some people in here. What up, Tico? We got some people in here, and I'm pretty sure we can just start deep diving already, if you'd like.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
There's a lot to go over. A lot. So, what do you want to start with? You want to start with Batman?
Yeah, since you've finally seen it. Yeah.
I saw it. So yeah, my wife and I and our 14-year-old went in, and we went to go see it. We rented a theater, as I speculated we would. Dude, that is the perfect Batman rendition of the Batman.
Mm-hmm.
You had told me in a previous conversation after I had seen it already, and we talked about it, that you had a few quarrels with it, little qualms, and I agree with you on the problems, which was, dude, Robert Pattinson can't play Bruce Wayne. I said it, I don't care, whatever, it is what it is. Robert Pattinson sucks as Bruce Wayne.
Agreed. Yeah, we both agreed on that.
There was one thing, though, that I caught, and I was like, you know what? After I saw it that way, I took a couple days, and I figured it out. The reason I thought he sucked was a valid one, which was I didn't like him. It's not that he sucked. I looked at it from, it's Bruce Wayne trying to figure out his life as Batman,
Mm-hmm.
when it's really supposed to be Batman trying to figure out his life as Bruce Wayne.
Great way
And
to
that made
put
it a little bit better. That made the pills easier to swallow. But it's that whole thing of, you've read a lot of Batman comics, so have I. And you and I both know that he refers to himself as Batman, not Bruce Wayne. That's his real identity. And after I guess reanalyzed it again and all that stuff, yeah, it made more sense to me. But yeah, Robert Pattinson, towards the end of the movie, as Bruce Wayne was better. The beginning, it was really hard to swallow.
Yeah, and that's why I told you, like, he's basically Batman the whole time. Like that's what I meant. Like when you have like 95%, 100% Batman, it's because even as Bruce Wayne, he's still Batman. And I understand the lens of he's been only Batman for 2 years, so he's still trying to balance it. But I looked at it from the aspect of, I feel like after 2 years, he would have a better understanding of, like how Alfred said, eventually all your funds are going to be gone. Like you're going to have, like I had to have the investors come here because eventually all your funds is going to be gone. And I like that he was basically consumed as Batman because that's, like you said, the mask is Bruce Wayne, but who he is Batman.
Yeah.
But I just didn't feel like the mask was well established. Like it was very just brooding the whole time, which brooding is fine, obviously. That's the tone. But even like the scene when they have the funeral and he goes to the funeral and he sees Falcone, that whole scene, that was where it showed the weakness of him being Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, because he showed that he was Batman the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, me and my client, which is actually one of my boys, Nelson Neltron Sosa. I actually just finished his tattoo after 7 years. We were talking about it, and we were talking about how same thing happened with the Daredevil. I don't know if you can agree with me on this with Charlie Cox. They looked like the character outside of costume, and then certain things gave them away, like the way that Charlie Cox goes after his prosecution and how he goes after every villain when they're in the courtroom, as well as when he sees them on the street. It's the same way that Bruce Wayne went ahead and did the same thing with Batman and Bruce Wayne in
Mm-hmm.
the funeral scene. So he needs to find himself and realize he can't do both at the same time. If not, he's going to give away his secret identity.
And that's like even at the end with the Riddler when they have like hints of Batman Hush in there. That's when he's like, "Oh man, like this dude, like he knows who I am," because he kind of feels like he hasn't really put on the facade of
Yep.
Bruce Wayne and Batman. Like they're merging too much. They're commingling too much.
Yeah. Yeah, which is so spoiler. Once Bruce Wayne, or rather, once Batman caught the Riddler, and the Riddler's in Arkham, there's that scene. Again, it's been a few weeks, so I'm just going to start spouting out things now. We both seen it. I think anybody that's on this live cast has possibly seen it. So let's just get to it. You know what I mean? When they were in Arkham and Riddler is talking to Batman, and all he's saying is Bruce Wayne, Bruce Wayne. You're like, oh man, he figured it out. He figured out who Batman is just by looking at him. And when you figure out that's not the case, it was pretty intense. But like for those 30 seconds of him screaming out Bruce Wayne and all that, it freaked me out. It was like, oh man, he got caught. Simple as that, he got caught.
Yeah.
So it was cool. And then you saw the deleted scene, no?
What's
The
deleted?
Joker?
Oh yes.
Okay, so for those who haven't watched the deleted scene, it's on everywhere. It's on Instagram, it's on YouTube, it's on like everywhere. So Vimeo rather. When it comes down to that, I'm glad they left it out. I think you can agree as well.
I agree.
Because that guy that's playing the Joker, he is gonna steal the show.
See, I definitely have to see more, and I like that. And then you pointed out, and I think we talked about it. It definitely has a lot of Lee Bermejo vibes for
Yeah.
sure, especially like with the fingernails and the smile and the kind of the way they're making him look. I'm still 50-50 on the laugh. Like the laugh fits what he looks like, but I'm still like it coming across it because it's more like a cackle to me. It's coming across more like a cackle than like the genuine Joker laugh. And
Yes.
yeah, and also definitely Hannibal vibes. But what I did like though, I like that they already have a pre-established relationship. Like how he said it's our anniversary. So that I liked. Yeah. So I liked that. I like how they have a pre-established relationship, and you can see like an early obsession over the Batman because he's like, oh, like let's talk about you. Like, oh, it's more fun. Like, so that I liked it. Like he's getting under his skin because the Joker knows Batman. Like not only knows who he is, like he knows him, and that's the compelling part about it. That he calls him out on a lot of his stuff. So that I liked. So
well, he said it. He goes, "You're so much more interesting."
Mm-hmm.
He pretty much called the Riddler boring. So
yeah. So there was more about it I liked than I didn't like, but definitely have to see more. And I'm curious to know how it stacks up against the other ones. Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix. He's not really. Let's be honest. He's not really competing against Jared Leto. I mean, even Jack Nicholson. You can even say Jack Nicholson. So I'm very curious to see his rendition of the character and where he takes it. Like, how crazy is he gonna get?
Well, I mean, the fun fact about everything is that Jack Nicholson, when he was brought on, it was like, Jack, do your own thing. You know, whatever you want to do with the Joker. And that is, a lot of people can disagree or agree, but Jack Nicholson is Jack Nicholson throughout the entire movie. That's how he acts. That's who he is. It is what it is. His portrayal of the Joker, yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good one. It is the first, like, real, legitimate, serious Joker we've seen on screen. But I think, you know, Joaquin and Heath Ledger, and now this new guy, I always forget his name, I'm so sorry. But this new Joker, dude, hands down, these last three, the best renditions, in my opinion.
No, I agree. I agree. And like I said, I'm curious to know where they go for the sequel, because they've kind of already laid out some, I think, Court of Owls like
Yep.
potential, and Robert
Well, yeah,
Pattinson has said
like
do that.
the city has its own underground, it's tied into community type deal, where crime is run differently than what we really see in the forefront. So yeah, Court of Owls definitely. I think that's going to be a big thing.
And then maybe we get some, because now obviously I love that they didn't kill off the Riddler. So now you have the Riddler and the Joker. They had their scene at the end. So can we get some war of jokes and riddles? Maybe, like, who
That's
knows
what
how
I'm
that
hoping.
could go.
It would be cool if that's how they ended the trilogy. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I don't want to see the Joker in the second movie, the sequel. I think he would steal the show. And I don't want it to be like the Dark Knight all over again, where it was Batman Begins, Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises. The one out of all three that really stands out is Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then Dark Knight Rises is like a pale little shadow in comparison to like what it is. So I do hope they do Bane though. I think you and I talked about it.
Yes.
I hope they do Bane. I hope they do him proper. Spaniard or Mexican, scientist, smart, figures out he's a detective of his own, essentially, figures out who Batman really is and goes after it. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm. And I want to see where they go with Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman, because she dropped Bloodhaven, which is nice. That was a nice little drop.
Dick Grayson's
So,
area.
mm-hmm. So I'm curious to know where they go with that. So yeah, I think the possibilities are kind of endless. They left a lot open to where the sequel could go. That's what I like. They left it very open, where they threw in some Joker. You still got the Riddler, and now, like you said, he has to figure
Hints
out.
hints of Venom.
Oh yeah,
The hints of Venom, where that adrenaline shot he took. I don't know, man. I think that was Venom, or at least an early stage of it.
that's what I told my girl when we watched in the theater, because she was like, "Did he just shoot himself with adrenaline?" I was like, "I think, I don't know."
No. Let's see. But yeah, I'm really excited. They talked about how Matt Reeves wants to do the show, and he wants it to be pretty much including the Joker, but not letting it go like into the movies just yet. So he's thought about putting the Joker into the actual Arkham Asylum show, and let's see how that goes. I mean, I think that would be cool. You know?
Yeah, like, and just sprinkling throughout, so you have like a slight connection. So you can. So this would be good, because then, like you said, I like if they saved it for the last movie, but you can still build through the series. You can sprinkle them throughout and still build on the myth, the lore that is the Joker. So I think that would be a good way to balance it.
Yeah. Yeah. Now another thing. Let's talk about insanity. Let's talk about all the craziness. I just spoke to you before we started filming, and dude, Moon Knight, it's perfect. Well, I mean, to me, it's perfect. It's completely insane, just like Mark Spector. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I guess let's go right into it. I just saw the first episode. I'm fresh on it. What are your takes?
I loved it. I love how they put Khonshu out in the front early. I
Mm-hmm.
like that. They gave him a little bit of a personality, and you can see him trying to keep everything together, trying to almost manage the split personalities that are Spectre, Grant. Maybe we'll see Jake Lockley. So
Let's see.
yeah, so let's see.
Going everything. So yeah, I think that's a possibility.
So and I loved how they kind of framed the him going in and out. Like when he's like, Mark, we kind of need you, and then do do do, and then next thing you know, everything's gone haywire. So,
Yeah.
and I loved him as Stephen Grant. Like he really sold that character.
Which so we've already heard about it. I've sent you the articles. You've sent me articles. So they already confirmed that Stephen Grant will be Mr. Knight. There's not a big spoiler, but he's going to be Mr. Knight, and Mark Spector is going to be Moon Knight. So seeing those two and how they're going to flip and flop between each other is going to be one of the coolest things ever. Because I want to see them lose it. Like I want Steven to lose his thing, like lose his mind, and flip over to Mark just like he did in the first episode. But while he's Mr. Knight.
Oh yes.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Let's see where this goes. Already the first episode, I'm like, this is gonna be better for me than Loki. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Especially since they touched on the supernatural, which is awesome because we're gonna see a little bit of that now coming in with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So I want to see where it goes. I really want to see where it goes. He's already talked about doing the Midnight Suns.
Yep.
You read that article.
Yep.
And I want to see where they take it. I mean, Blade's coming in. We obviously have Mark Spector. Norman Reedus has openly acknowledged that he's been talking to Marvel here and there for Ghost Rider. Which I think... Who do you think he would be? Johnny Blaze or Denny Ketch?
Ooh. I think they would go Johnny Blaze just because it's more popular and it is still the MCU. But if Kevin Feige wants to do it, real true, I think Danny Ketch. Me personally, we've already seen Johnny Blaze, kind of. So, yeah, and then we've seen Robbie Reyes. So I think now it's time to see Danny Ketch.
It's time to see Danny, yeah. I want to see that crazy costume. I mean, Jack Nicholson, Nick Cave's Ghost Rider had hints of Danny Ketch's suit with the spikes and all that, but I want to see a true Danny Ketch.
Yeah.
With blue flames and all, baby. Just fucking, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be rad.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be rad. Okay, so we've gone through Marvel. The final TV spot for Doctor Strange dropped today.
Yes.
Thoughts?
I like it. It's okay. So immediately the thing I took away was what I saw from Wanda. Wanda with her kids. That makes me to believe it's gotta be some House of M.
Yes, sir.
Major House of M. And I'm not saying we're gonna get Mephisto, but
Mephisto. I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens. Same thing. I agree. I think it's going to be Mephisto. I think we're definitely going to see House of M. I think that's how they're going to go ahead and go about the mutant thing and introducing mutants in general. So imagine if instead of no more mutants, or have we been living in a post House of M universe?
That's the interesting part.
Mm-hmm.
That's the interesting part. I want to see because I really think though that this is gonna be. See, if it was that would be super interesting, and I would love that. But I think this is how they're gonna introduce mutants because reintroducing her kids, and because we know Wiccan, and I believe the other one's Speed. I think that's his name. So I think this is how they're gonna say, them having their powers. And then I know they're probably going to do some Young Avengers down the line. They're going to set everything up.
Well, they're setting it up with Spider-Man to begin with, and then now they got Riri, and they got pretty much everybody else set up. Like the Ironheart's coming with Riri, Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
everything they're setting up now. Miss Marvel,
Kate Bishop. We already got Kate Bishop.
it's already set up. So I mean, yeah, Young Avengers is right around the horizon, and I'm really excited to see it. So now, question Miss Marvel. Now we're jumping into the other one. Let's go to Miss Marvel.
What do you think of the trailer?
So you and I both talked about how the powers got changed and how she's not Mr. Fantastic E. You know what I mean? Because like a lot of her powers also revolved around like Mr. Fantastic, the stretching arm and stuff like that. And they're not going that route. They're doing it as an energetic, kinetic thing where
Yeah,
like,
bracelets.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's gonna be cool to see that. The fact that they're still doing that whole like elongated arm and Mr. Fantastic E power thing, yeah, that's gonna be really rad. Um, I'm interested to see the Marvels because we're gonna see Rambo, we're gonna see Brie Larson's, and we're gonna see um Miss Marvel right now. So let's see where that goes. Um, Also, we have a couple other aspects, like for instance, we have Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. We got America Chavez, which is stepping foot into it. It's gonna be crazy just to see everything go. Hi, welcome to the live feed. Yeah, so I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see these kinetic, not mutants per se, but like cosmic beings with cosmic powers and all this stuff coming into play and like really working itself into the Marvel universe.
Yeah, and because we already know they're going more cosmic, because you got Guardians of the Galaxy 3 coming out. They've already talked about working on Nova. Like you said, we have the Marvels, and we already seen that Nick Fury is established on the Sword base, and we also have Secret Invasion. So they're definitely going more cosmic. Now, with the bracelets,
Just saying hi to everybody. Sorry. Go ahead.
then with the bracelets, it also kind of has some like Green Lantern-esque because, with the projections. So that's
You cut
so
out.
that's
Cut out. I heard Green Lantern esque, and then you just cut out completely.
yeah. And then also you got to remember that they still have something to do with the 10 rings. So I'm wondering if, because we saw how their rendition of the 10 rings is more like bracelets. We see these bracelets. I wonder if they're going to try to maybe say the 10 rings is cosmic and maybe is there something derived from it. So that'll be interesting. See if they see where.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Well, so I'm gonna touch base on something. You mentioned Green Lantern. We've talked about the Green Lantern showing up in the Justice League movie, which they deleted the scene. Um, and I think I'm just gonna go into this whole turnaround thing. They've talked about Nova, which is technically like the Green Lantern Corps of Marvel, and I think James Gunn said that we're gonna see Nova sooner than later. So I'm thinking he's gonna show up in the new Guardians movie, which turns out into the cosmic universe of Marvel. Let's go. What do you have to say about it?
Well, I think the big thing is Adam Warlock. That
Yes.
they've teased that for some time now. We thought maybe, or I thought maybe we would get, if how they're doing the Infinity Saga, I thought maybe they would, throw in Adam Warlock. They're saving him for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So, yeah, so maybe Nova comes in to help against Adam Warlock. And also, I'm going to see how they do it because they said that, remember Thanos that wiped out basically Xandar. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering how they're going to do the origins for the Nova Corps. Is like, did he already kind of, get away and he's just been off somewhere and then, he comes back? I wonder how they're going to do that. So let's see. And also, I'm wondering, do you think they're going to do the Sam Alexander or the.
We should do Richard Rider all day.
Okay, I agree. I agree.
I mean, we're both in agreement. Richard Rider, maybe Sam coming in later, but like given down by Richard Rider, like the position. And
Mm-hmm.
going back to, we just got a comment that if only they had made a good Green Lantern movie. So, really quick, I'm gonna off topic that. and just say, yeah, they're working on it right now. They're gonna make a buddy cop movie, which is revolving around, I think, John and Guy Gardner. So let's see what happens with that. Now going back to Nova. So so let's see. I think if they did a Richard Rider's off planet, comes back to Xandar, it's completely destroyed, goes look for Thanos, but Thanos is already dead.
Mm.
Or maybe Richard Rider gets snapped out of existence.
That too. That too.
And then we got Sam coming in, taking over the mantle, and then kind of what they did with Nova a few years back, where Sam went looking for Richard Rider and found out, hey, we're both here, we're both alive, and now we have a crazy take on the Nova Corps, or the new and improved Nova Corps.
Yeah, like maybe they try to restart and revamp the Nova Corps.
Yeah. Because let's face it, the Nova Corps is the Green Lantern Corps of Marvel.
Yes.
There's more than one Nova. Now, there's another aspect of things too. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 showed a version of the Nova Corps.
Mm-hmm.
What if they aren't? What if they're all galactically charged now?
Mm. Also, on an off tangent, I'm wondering how with the scrolls, how they're gonna work that as well.
Well, they're doing the Secret Invasion thing, and the girl that played Daenerys, Elizabeth, is it? I forgot her name. She's playing the head scroll, or a version
Oh,
of the Super Scroll. So I mean, let's
okay.
see what happens with that. I'm really excited to see that too, because there was a point where we thought Nick Fury was a scroll. I think that's still part of the canon universe right now in the movie universe.
I mean, well, he kind of was in Spider-Man: Far From Home. So
Yeah, but I'm saying,
already, yeah.
has it like now bled into current universe?
I'm not sure. Ever since they showed him on the bait, I'm not sure if it's still blending into current universe. But I'm also wondering if maybe Nick Fury has something to do with the Nova Corps. Like maybe we could see like him trying to revamp it, restart it, or Richard Rider coming to him, and then they try to like basically run the Nova Corps from the Sword base, potentially.
I mean, he is the eye, the cosmic eye now. So remember, he has the cosmic sniper rifle.
Oh,
So
yeah.
from Fear itself and all that stuff, that storyline. So let's see. I mean, there's a possibility, and they introduced Sword already, and it's all really cool, man. It's really good possibilities for everything that's going on with Marvel and the cosmic universe of Marvel. So, which now we're going to go into a supernatural, cosmic, and everything else except for grounded universe for Marvel. That's the direction we're heading in. And
Yeah.
Doctor Strange is the anchor for that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's what Kevin Feige said. Kevin Feige said that Doctor Strange himself is going to be the pinnacle point and the anchor going forward.
So yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a whole new Marvel. Like, yeah, we're going to have our Earth heroes, but they're going to be more like the street level heroes, like Daredevil, Punisher, and Iron Fist.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think now with Shang-Chi, we're going to get introduced into Iron Fist again. Are we going to get the same actor that played Danny Rand? And who knows? I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. Speaking of which, Disney has acquired all the Netflix originals.
Yes.
And they changed on the 16th, I think it was. I don't even know what day it was. This last month. They changed the parental advisories.
Mm-hmm.
And the parental controls on Disney Plus. So we get to see, which we're going to talk about this today. We're going to get to see the uncensored versions of these Netflix shows. And then they tried to pull a fast one over everybody and do a censored version of like Falcon Winter Soldier and all these other shows. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of strange, I felt like, because you go completely. I mean, and then I like the way they did it with the parental controls and the TVMA. That was a good kind of loophole to how they did it because after all it still is Disney. But the fact that you had these shows and these scenes implemented way before this, and then now after adding a more grittier substance, you then go back and backtrack on your other previously put projects and censor them. So I think I don't. So I didn't understand the point and why to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the point in that. It almost seemed like they were trying to pull a fast one over all the fans and everybody else that's been watching it forever now, knowing full well it's probably going to be PG-13 the most, and they're trying to go PG now. Which I heard that She-Hulk's going to be PG, another street level hero,
And Miss Marvel is going to be PG.
and Miss Marvel. So I mean, I guess we all knew it was bound to happen because it is Disney. But I mean, there's some stuff that you can't keep PG. I know that they're working on season 4 for Daredevil. That's already been talked about. Charlie Cox already confirmed it. They're going to start filming at the end of the year. But are they going to change that up too?
Yeah, because I mean, are they gonna? So you already have all the Netflix stuff on the under the TVMA tab, but when they release this, I wonder if they're gonna release it under the TVMA tab, or they're gonna release it as a new kind of Disney original or like a Disney product and put it out on the regular.
I don't want it if it's not MA.
I agree.
I don't want it if it's not MA. I'm going to be honest with you. Because how are you going to do Daredevil, which is bloody, gritty, even Moon Knight? The first episode,
just say
this whole situation, if you haven't seen Moon Knight, watch Moon Knight, but there is a scene that involves a cupcake and a gun. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. You know what I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about because I can see you laughing already. There's a scene that involves a cupcake and a gun. It is violent. It's gritty. It's dirty, and I love it. Daredevil is the same thing. Punisher is the same thing. And the fact that you're going to go ahead and try to make it censored, I don't think it's going to work.
no. So I don't. And then plus, we already know that they acquired Deadpool, and that's another one that you can't. You can't. It's impossible. Because then, if you censor that, then you end up like Sony with Venom. Or how we heard, and we already talked about this, how we're not really probably going to see Morbius. And obviously haven't seen it, so I can't say anything about it. But from what I've heard, it's not, yeah. You just,
It's a poo-poo show.
So,
poo-poo show.
Yeah. So, yeah, we've already seen. They have to learn from Sony because Sony tried to do this and it hasn't worked out.
That's the problem with Sony. I mean, I hate to say it like this. I'm a big Sony fan and supporter for the Spider-Man stuff they've done, but man, Sony just keeps dropping the ball. It's just like, ugh. It's almost cringy.
And that makes me worried now because we know we have Kraven the Hunter coming. That makes me worried now.
You know what's crazier about Kraven? Is that he's such a gritty artist. I mean, gritty artist. He's such a gritty character that if they don't do him dark, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I'm going to go to the comments really quick because we've been getting a lot of comments on just what we've been talking about right now.
Yeah.
So, oh, damn, I didn't know that. That's going to be interesting if they drop the dark grittiness to make Daredevil more PG. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. Hands down, they shouldn't. Ken Sato said, I think it's very risky and more likely than not to be bad. Yes, I agree. You got to give the fans what they want, Disney. And then, yeah, Moon Knight needs to be gritty as hell as well. I think Disney's potential tendency to... yeah, you can't cater to large groups. And that's the thing, where you can't cater to large groups that are not part of what makes the fan base the fan base.
Mm-hmm.
The fan base is what's paying Disney's way to continue making these movies. Disney probably doesn't care because Disney has Disney money, as a real term. They have Disney bucks, and they're just going to throw down and make whatever they want. And yeah, they're going to get their money back, but they're going to see wavering numbers for sure. If they try to do things like, PG up Daredevil, specifically Punisher, and Moon Knight, nah, man, people are going to start dropping the subscription.
Yeah, and Punisher, that's another thing. Are they gonna? I'm assuming they have to go the more comic route now, like how it is currently. They're obviously like, because if they don't, again, how are you going to not make that more R? How are you going to turn that PG-13? It's the Punisher. I mean, the names in and of itself
The Punisher
says, yeah,
meant to
it
punish.
says what you're gonna do.
Yeah. I mean,
Exactly.
if they're going to go the route of the comic right now, where he's the leader of the hand, is it? Right? So let's see. Let's see where it goes. Because I think if he does do that, and if they do the whole changing of the symbol, it solidifies it more than just the comics. Because now it's on a bigger, grand scale of things. It's on a television, essentially. So changing it up like that might be a good route too. Maybe make it grittier. I don't know how you're going to do it grittier, but make it grittier,
And then also we have Doctor Strange, which is, it's like you said, we're getting more into the supernatural side of things with Moon Knight, Doctor Strange, Blade.
Werewolf, right?
Yeah, so how, where do you, it's a very fine line they're walking right now, I'll say. Like, this is the first time in a while that I'm like, okay, Disney, where are you going with this? Because you're walking a very fine line of between basically PG and R. So you're trying to go PG-13 with things that should be R, and you're trying to turn things that are already PG-13, trying to turn them PG. So it's like, where are the scales going to end up at the end?
Where does the line get drawn? Really, that's the real thing. Where does the line get drawn? And you know what? At the end of the day, from what I'm hearing, and this actually could be a good thing too if they decide to go this route, which is, okay, if they do Midnight Suns and they do it where they're fighting supernatural beings, and it's now Punisher, Daredevil, Blade, Moon Knight, and Werewolf by Night, they can get gritty while keeping it PG-13 because you're not killing humans. But if you decide to do Punisher on its own thing, Daredevil on its own thing, which they've already said they're going to do Daredevil for sure his own season again, you're going to muddle it up by saying, hey, we're not going to keep it as gritty as it should be, especially since it's been going that route since Netflix. Now you got to top the Netflix last season, which was the third season, which introduces Bullseye, essentially, which is a second, I just don't see it working out unless they do the Midnight Suns thing. And they're already working on season 4 for Daredevil. So I don't know.
Yeah, and especially like seeing the new TV spot, seeing the trailer, we see that Marvel Zombies. So maybe they, incorporate, zombies and, like you said, try to do that and go that route. We got to see where Moon Knight still goes. We got episode 2 that dropped today. So
Yep.
we got to see how that goes, and the Werewolf by Night, and so it's going to be interesting. Like I said, the line has to be drawn somewhere, and right now they're just kind of in the middle, and eventually the scales are going to have to get balanced one way or the other. That's the only way I see it happening.
I agree, 1,000,000%. And I hope it's towards the grittier version. If it's between PG-13 and gritty as all hell are, I want the latter.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
So I guess let's go into, we've talked about Marvel, we talked about DC. Let's go into a few things. First things first. There's a lot of controversy right now with everybody that's involved with Warner Brothers, whether it be Will Smith, Ezra Miller, Ray Fisher, unfortunately, was in the spotlight recently again, over the same thing that happened with Joss Whedon. But let's go ahead and talk about, I'll let you lead this one. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Oh, you know what? Let's talk about Ezra Miller.
Okay. It's terrifying because the fact that they're putting halts into production, I mean, halts of production of everything that's going on right now, and we're so close to seeing the Flash movie finally after all these years, and it being in limbo because of his drunken rage and mental being is sad. Not to mention, you don't want to see that route for an actor that's portraying
Mm,
such a positive character.
that too. I didn't. You know, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, because Barry Allen is hope personified, just like Superman. He
Yeah.
is a hero to his core. He is the light in the dark, and Batman has said so himself. So to take that character, which I mean, after Batman is my second favorite DC character for that very reason, because him going against Reverse Flash, him basically always racing against Reverse Flash, who is another person who is evil incarnate, but always still manages to have hope. Have all this bad stuff happen to him,
And
has hope.
sacrifice of his mother, take the sacrifice all over again, as an adult seeing it, to reverse time to go back to normal in Flashpoint.
Yeah, because that's just what heroes do, and he goes above and beyond. So yeah, to have that and to have this unfortunate, and this isn't the first time that he's been in the spotlight for this kind of thing. So it's very unfortunate. Like you said, you never like to see it with anybody, and like how I texted you before, me and you have both said many upon many times we see him more as Wally West than
Yeah.
Barry Allen. With that being said, I still wanted to see this Flash movie because I want to see him having his own movie, how he fleshes out the character, the route that he goes. But now with this, it's
It,
DC is already up in the air with so much, and they've already pushed back their movie slate. So then to add this, another thing on top of what's already been presented, it's tough. It's really tough.
yeah. Yeah, it sucks because so Ezra Miller going through all that stuff, right? Literally assaulting somebody while he was in drunken rage. And now it's coming out that he had a bunch of mental breakdowns on the set of Flash and Justice League. And he lashed out to a bunch of people. It's sad. It's sad. I mean, I'm pretty sure being an actor, having all these emotions, having to portray emotion on screen or on camera rather, and like push forward through all these things and act like something's normal when it's not, and act like something's not normal when it is. There has to be some type of mental toll it takes on you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Seeing the Flash go through everything he's going through, or rather, Ezra Miller, sorry. Ezra Miller go through everything he's going through is sad. And what's really sad about this is also the fans are going to suffer because if they decide to push back the Flash movie until this all clears out or cancel it altogether after it's been filmed, dude, I don't know. I don't know.
I thought the same thing. And also got to mention, he's also in the new Fantastic Beasts series.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and we've already seen that, you know, whatever happened, well, not whatever happened, but the things that happened with Johnny Depp and how they went the recast route.
They'll recast. Yeah.
So,
I mean,
so I have
they did a
to,
bad job with the recast, though. Mads Mikkelsen. Yeah. They didn't do a bad job with that. But
no, yeah.
who would they do Urza? Like, that's the other aspect of things, too. Like, we've been seeing Urza as the Flash, and we even saw him right now with Peacemaker at the end.
Right, right.
You know, so he solidified that he's the Flash. Who are you going to see next? You know? Unless you do the whole Wally West aspect of things.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be hard because they've kind of already established Barry Allen. So, I mean, I think they would probably have to go the recast route, unless, like you said, unless they just wanted, you know, I don't know. I don't know because also,
It's a situation.
yeah,
It's a tricky.
I don't know how to juggle it.
Well, now that we're on the topic of really messed up celebrity situations, you know where I'm going with this.
Yep.
I'm just gonna say one statement. How are you going to slap a comic? He's doing his job, you know? And if you guys don't figure it out by now, it's Will Smith. How are you going to do that? It's real unfortunate because a lot of his stuff is now put in hold and like put on limbo. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. One of the biggest things, which I wanted to see, even though I'm not a fan of the first movie of the Suicide Squad, they were going to do a Deadshot movie with a $20 million price tag on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's now scrapped. It's done. And HBO Max was going to put out a biopic of Will Smith as well. And that's scrapped too. It's so scrapped. I found out from Bobby today. It's so scrapped that HBO dropped it. They went directly to Netflix. And Netflix said, no, we don't want anything to do with it.
Mm. Yeah. Like you said, and I feel like Will Smith has to understand the confines of comic, like what the comedy and the comic aspect.
He made the same joke 20 years prior or 25 years prior at the Geraldo show.
Right. So, and I'll speak for me being, mixed and basically acknowledging, identifying as as a black male. It just didn't. It wasn't a great look because you have to understand who you are, the stage that you're on, the Oscars, the eyes watching. You have now put the stereotype out there of an angry black man, and I didn't appreciate that.
Yeah.
Especially it, like you said, it being a joke, and he was laughing at the joke at first, and then so now you just look bad all the way around. And even Serena's dad had come out and made a statement that he does not support or condone violence of any sort. And that's the other thing. You finally won an Oscar, and your night that you finally won an Oscar, but we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about the portrayal that you did in that movie. No, we're talking about how you got up on stage, could not control yourself, and had to smack a man in front of millions of people.
And then follow up with a screaming fest.
Yeah. The nice little cherry on top. You made sure you screamed it twice, so everybody heard you. Perfectly clear.
Yeah. And it's messed up because so Chris Rock said, he goes, dude, it was a G.I. Jane joke. G.I. Jane at the time, and even now, Demi Moore, gorgeous, strong woman, beat the odds, hardcore, everything that's supposed to be good for women. And because he took it on a personal level, he demoralized all of that. All of it.
Great point.
You know?
Great point.
And he made Jada Pinkett, which has been known to be a strong woman in all other aspects of life, made her look like a baby. They look at, oh, you're defending your wife's honor, which I'm not even gonna put in the fact that she openly cheated on him, said it on the show, came out about it. You know, I mean, it's a rough situation. It sucks that Will Smith has been such a positive actor throughout the years, and the fact that he's put forth this positive light on every role he does. I remember growing up when he was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and he was doing hip hop or rap, he wouldn't curse. He refused to curse on his records. And here we are several years down the road going, keep my wife's name, ouch, because we're going to go on YouTube. I'm not going to say that word, mouth. You know what I mean? So it's messed up. It's messed up on a very big level because, dude, you're such a positive role model that just got crumpled right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then this is not the first time he does it. I don't know if you knew that. There was a reporter that was a troll, you know, But he did this whole thing, like he tried to kiss him on the cheek and do the European salute and all that stuff. And he went in for a kiss on the lips. It was a joke. And he slaps him in the face. And then he turns to his publicist and he goes, he's luck at him, sucker punch him. Bro, just walk away. Just walk away.
It's really not that hard. Or like, if you had a problem with the joke, talk to him. Say something to him after the show, after the fact. Don't just in a moment just be consumed by rage. And also, like you said, with the with the cheating and how Jada came out, one, I feel like it was counterproductive because I'm sure he knows the optics and how it looks. So he wants to quote unquote make a statement. But now it's worse because now we know how sensitive you are. Now we know how much it bothers you. And now you don't think that hundreds, thousands, millions of other people are not going to come at you for the same thing now, because now that you've shown your sensitive spot, your weak spot,
yeah,
you just made your target.
You made it a buffet. Have at it. Like, one of the best jokes I heard about all this right now is, damn, you're going to be open about everything in your marriage except a G.I. Jane joke? Like,
I heard another.
You see? It's a funny joke, but damn.
I heard another day that they said that the only reason Will Smith did it is because it's in March. He would have never did it if it was in August.
Ooh. Ooh, damn. That's really good.
Right.
You know? So it sucks, man, but it is what it is. And look, the reality of things is Chris Rock is a comic. They pay him to roast you. That's it. And you're in the front. You're literally in the front row. You're in walking distance of Chris Rock. Guess what? And then a couple years back, your wife, or rather Jada Pinkett, is going ahead and going, I'm boycotting the Golden Globes. Because Will Smith had it all stolen from him. Look, reality of things is, and I was listening to a podcast recently where a gentleman had made a very good statement, which is, and it's going to go to like raising children and all that stuff until now. When you raise your kids, you treat them to be a good sport. What does that mean? You're not always going to win every game, but you might make it to the championship and win the championship. But if you lose the championship that we call life, or whatever the case may be, the situation you're in, you can't be a sore loser about it and be like, it was robbed from me. It was stolen from me. You got to be like, cool, keep it going. Keep a good example. And that's where Will Smith failed.
Mm-hmm.
He could have taken that moment and opportunity in time to where he got his acceptance speech and been like, hey, Chris Rock, real funny, blah, 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 yada, yada. But here's the real issue and why my wife shaves her head. And made everyone
Exactly.
apparently aware of what's going on with her. Because she's open about it. Instead, you displayed this whole rage mode of let's slap Chris Rock, which is a comedic genius and a comedian on stage that's paid to make fun of you, and you can't handle it.
That, and he just boosted up Chris Rock's stock as well.
Dude, the next day he sold out almost all his shows. Almost all of them. Sold out.
And I heard like they like doubled or tripled in price.
That and Tony? Because Tony came out and he did a whole thing about how are you going to go up there on the stage and slap my brother? And now he has a bit about it.
Mm.
So how are you going to go ahead and do that? Like, all that Will Smith did was he smeared his name and gave Chris Rock a bigger boost.
Yeah. It's not a good look. It's not good optics, and definitely was not appreciated by me. Because like I said, I don't like the fact that you put the foot out there of angry black man, because we already have to deal with so many stereotypes as it is. And just to put that one out there on Front Street at the Oscars, and it's like you said, it's supposed to be a great night for you. You won your first one, and you won it for an amazing role in an amazing movie. But that's not what we're taking away from it. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about how you couldn't control your emotions. You felt the need to be something more than you really need to be, and the consequences.
Yeah, it's a shame. And then real talk, like he could have been a real contender. And going back to the comic aspect of things, he could have been a real contender in the comic book industry, in the comic book movie industry. You know, he solidified Deadshot. Deadshot was probably the only good part of that movie. People are gonna
Yeah,
say Harley Quinn was, but I think Deadshot really took the show. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
seeing that just sucks. It sucks. Not to mention like growing up and seeing Will Smith as the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, putting all these positive roles and positive aspects of things in light, and making it like, hey, look, it's like when Hulk Hogan got caught for steroids. You know, Hulk Hogan was the
hmm
best wrestler in the world, and he did awesome. And eat your vegetables and be this and that if you were a wrestling fan. And then, oh yeah, do steroids. I mean, as an adult, it's like, of course you do steroids. But
right.
when you're a kid and you see that, it just destroys it. And now Will Smith, this, it's like, yeah, everything that was the childhood aspect and visual Will Smith is gone.
Yeah, and then now all the other movies that you've made before are now viewed in a different light.
Yeah, yeah. So, sucks. Real sucks. But let's end this on a good note.
Yes.
Moon Knight episode 2 is coming tonight. The title is Summon the Suit.
Hmm.
I don't know if you noticed that.
No.
And that is a very big point. And now we're going to see Mark Spector's story. So I really want to see a lot more Mark Spector. And he's my favorite version of that Moon Knight persona. And I want to see what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when did you start reading Moon Knight?
I think I started reading Moon Knight. So when I knew the series was coming out, I wanted to dive deeper in. So I think I read the Marvel Now aspect, and I think it's great. Like, I love the detective aspect as Mr. Knight, and I love the gritty, ness of the character, how he, and I think one of my favorite parts is like why he wears white. He wears white because he wants to see you coming. He wants you to know that vengeance is about to be struck down upon you. And also, I love the Khonshu aspect. I love how not only is he battling with the aspects of his dissociative identity disorder, but he's also battling the aspect of the moon god and the god of vengeance. So that's why I loved how in the first episode they showed Khonshu. But I think that they're definitely going to develop Khonshu more because, like I said, in the first episode, he has more of this kind of playful vibe. What's he doing?
You're back.
Okay, I'm back. So yeah, so he was like, Mark, we need you. Come on. So I want to see when Khonshu finally takes control. And he's like, all right, enough's enough. I've played this game with you for a while. It's time to get down to business. I brought you back for a reason. You're here for this reason. You're here to instill vengeance upon the world.
Yep. Well, Kevin Bacon's character, I always forget his name in the comics and in this. When he does the whole weighing of conscience and whether or not he's a good man or a bad man, and he looks at him, he goes, "You're just full of chaos."
Oh, Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke. Oh, the Ethan Hawke? Oh, I said Kevin Bacon. My bad. Bah, Ethan Hawke. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, when he did that whole tips of scale thing, he's like, "You're just chaos. Like, you're full of chaos." He doesn't know that there is Kachu, there is Mark, there's Steven, and there's Jacob
Mm-hmm.
in his brain. He just knows he stole a scarab. And that's it.
So, yeah, I want to see. Like I said, I'm the part I'm looking forward to most is the Khonshu aspect. I really want to see how deep they delve into that, and if they just show, basically how vengeful he is, why he's the god of vengeance.
Yeah. Would you know what? I actually, well, now we have the Batman, right? The Batman's universe, or the DC universe equivalent of Moon Knight, is John Paul Valley, Ezra. So I would love to see that in the DC format too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've talked about that before. Yep.
Yeah. So let's see what happens, man. I'm excited to see what they start showing us, especially Marvel. I'm scared about the PG thing, but I'm very excited about where it could possibly lead into.
Yeah, I'm excited about the cosmic and more so the supernatural aspect.
Yep. We should be getting the Thor trailer, I think, next week, the 11th.
Yeah, that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's speculated that we think we're gonna get it Monday, the 11th.
Yep, because they did this whole press conference thing, and each one of them's throwing out different hand signals, but it all equals out to the 11th. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm. That's gonna be good too, and that's gonna, obviously more into the cosmic aspect, and we know we're getting Gore the God Butcher, we're
Oof,
getting Christian
so good.
Gore the God Butcher. So it's, and then I think we're gonna definitely have some Guardians in there
Yeah, I think
as
so
well.
for sure. We're definitely gonna have Valkyrie. So that's
Mm-hmm.
cool. What if Valkyrie joins the Guardians now? Thor. Oh man, so many possibilities. So many possibilities. I want the next big bad after Kang to be Galactus. That's my hope. So let's see what happens with that. Speaking of bad guys, next bad guy in charge that's going to be coming back is Vincent D'Onofrio. He signed up, as well as Charlie Cox. They're going to be in the She-Hulk series, reprising their roles. So let's see what happens.
Oh, and the Echo series.
And the Echo series. Yep. So there's a lot of good stuff coming up.
It's gonna be good. I'm excited.
So anything we're missing for this week or these last 2 weeks?
Oh, I did want to mention I am very excited for Kenobi.
Oh yeah. Well, so there was a disappointing aspect, and then a few hours after they dropped their disappointing aspect of Kenobi, which was they were going to push it back 2 days, they hit us with, okay, we're pushing it back 2 days, but we're releasing 2 episodes at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be cool. That's going to be real cool. And I really, really hope that they show Cad Bane.
Yeah, to be honest, I think the part that I'm most excited for, besides seeing Vader, is the flashbacks with Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yep. I agree.
And to continue to build on, we already seen, he's like, you're my brother, Anakin. So now we're really going to see why that is. And obviously, you watch the Clone Wars, you can see a little bit of that. But to see a live action, it's going to be great. I can't wait.
Yep. I'm excited for the Star Wars stuff. There's not much more coming out for Star Wars recently. Like, everything's kind of pushing out for next year and then next year, but Kenobi seems like it's going to be a very promising show.
I agree. I definitely can't wait for that.
So I think that about wraps us up for today and these last 2 weeks.
Yeah. There was a lot to get through, but we got through it.
We got
as
through
always.
it fast. Real fast. Took us an
One
hour.
thing that
Usually it's an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes, but we've been done in an hour. Not bad. Not bad. So after you come back, because you're going to Disney tomorrow, I believe, right?
Yep, I leave for Disney tomorrow.
So after you come back from Disney, we're possibly going to start talking about a weekly thing every Wednesday or so. And our new days are going to be Wednesdays, guys.
Yes.
New Wednesdays on Instagram and the following week on YouTube. So you can always catch us there. Pop Link, just look it up. Just go to channels and type in Pop Link, and we should be the first channel. Same logo you see right up here. So.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah. Make sure to go there, subscribe, because like you said, all the that we do here, you're gonna be put there.
And then we're looking into Spotify to see how we can actually upload the audio. in the near future. So let's see how that goes.
Yes, sir.
But you can catch us pretty much in 2 weeks again, and then we're going to figure out the scheduling proper, and we can figure everything out, guys. So hope you guys like it, and we'll be catching up on more news and giving it to you guys as it comes out.
Yes, always.
So you guys have a good night. Goodbye.
Later, guys.